Ranger, boat pro staffer Steve Graff. Gary McCoy is pushing a few buttons over there, trying to get us where we're going here. Mike, what's
Houston,
up?
We've got a problem.
Houston, we have a problem. But anyway, today's show, of course, we're glad to have Gary McCoy back in the studio. Did we miss him last week? I mean, we had fill-ins. We had Hunter Mulligan. I want to thank Hunter Mulligan and Dr. Tommy Brown for coming in.
Didn't miss you guys.
Let's say the feeling was mutual.
That would be sort of like having Tommy Brown was going to come in and do a heart cath on you, and I filled in.
Oh yeah, there's a tough one right there.
Scary thought.
So yeah, we missed him.
That's one of those situations. You know, I was watching an old YouTube video of one of the comedians the other day, and he says, you know, that one thing you never want to hear from the surgeon is whoops.
Yeah, uh-oh.
That'd be one of those situations. All of a sudden you look up and Tommy has been replaced with Mike Eccles.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
And I've got a hangover.
Hey, this segment brought to you by Bayou Outdoor Super Center, Mustang Survival, Daiwa Rods and Reels, and BioBore Fuel Treatment. And some cool stuff coming up today. What does August mean to you as a fisherman?
I wanted you guys
as an outdoorsman.
As an outdoor, I just wanted you guys' opinion. You know, the blood starts stirring from.
Well, you know, it's a completely different kind of a year this year.
Yeah.
Because generally, you know, we'd be looking probably at our second week in the hundreds.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
And this year, what are we talking about today? You know, 94, the high this afternoon. It's not only going to be...
I do not think we've officially hit 100 inside Shreveport yet.
Really?
I want to say,
no point?
I want to say the hottest day was back in June, and it was like 97, 98, somewhere along in there.
Well, have we ever had a summer we didn't hit 100? I can't remember one, probably. Been a long time.
I can't remember, period.
Oh, so never mind.
So what does August mean to you? I mean, you know, obviously, you know, everybody getting their bows ready.
Yeah.
You know, the Sportsman's Expo coming up August 22nd through the 24th. Guys getting ready for the big archery, the bow shoot there.
You know, got dove season coming.
I've been noticing on I-220, you know, when I leave here in the afternoons, and I start gauging everything every year by how many doves I see in Bossier Parish. You know, when you
on the power line.
Oh, when you the minute you get to Harlan Bean's place, you know, just on the Bossier side of the river, from there and then on around, let's say Swan Lake Road.
That's Little Argentina right there at the corner of Swan Lake Road, 220.
Is that what they call that?
Little Argentina, yeah.
I've heard that.
Can you imagine
where that was at?
Can you imagine living in one of those apartments over there and sitting outside with a shotgun? Woo!
Have either one of you guys ever hunted Red River for dove? I heard it's a great place to go if you're in the right. Of course, any place is a good spot to go if you're in the right place.
It's iffy because there's places on the river, even though you think you're on a sandbar, that people will claim you're on private property.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So, know Jeff Dixon. Mm-hmm. I hunted with Jeff Dixon one year.
I'm sorry.
Hey, that sucker can shoot.
Oh, I bet.
That sucker can shoot. I hunted with Jeff one year. We were right there at, I guess it would be Taylortown, right there, kind of behind the old general store there, right along the river right there, and hammered them. I mean, it was one of the best dove hunts that I believe I've ever been on.
Was there something was there like sunflowers or?
No, I don't remember anything planted out there. There's a lot of goat weed. And that's the big trick, you know, these days is if you're cutting hay, unless you cut, you know, that week,
right,
or plow the ground. Right. I don't know what, you know, guys do get into the baiting and stuff, and I don't know why in the world you'd bait. All you got to do is plow the ground.
Yeah,
doves are showing up.
Run a disc across.
Set it on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
They are coming.
Well, the place that I have the good fortune of dove hunting for the last few years. They planted sunflowers last year and had the best year we've ever had down there. They planted sunflowers again this year, and the farmer's hand, I understand, sprayed a herbicide, a weedicide, or whatever it was, and it was bad.
Oh no!
Killed all the sunflowers.
Oh no!
Wow!
Yeah,
wow.
It was just an accident.
Wow.
Like when you had the sunflowers, did they bush hog them the week before the season opened, or did they just leave them?
They did whatever was 100% legal.
No, hey, as long as it's planted, you can bush hog it. You can do whatever. As long as it's planted, you just cannot add anything to it. We're gonna talk to somebody about that today.
Yeah, we are.
And do you know that you can actually go throw bait out, birdseed, whatever, on the ground prior to the season, as long as and this is touchy, as long as every bit of it is gone, like 11 days before you hunt over it.
We'll get the official ruling on it.
So how do you know that
Because I'm going to tell you, I've been a victim. I joined the $500 fine club 3 times in one day.
If you were breaking the law, you weren't a victim.
I was a victim. My Uncle Gary Wayne Brummett
the poor dove was a victim.
Never even loaded my shotgun.
Well, we got Jeff Dugay. I guess it's Hayes.
I think it's Dugay.
LDWS. Jeff Dugay. He's going to come on. He's their dove expert.
Yeah.
And he's going to give us what to expect.
Don't listen to Reverend Eccles over there. He'll get you in jail.
Hey, we got some sponsors back. Bellevue Meat.
Hey, well, I saw Carla Nesbitt yesterday.
Where's our tray?
Day before yesterday.
Yeah, we didn't get a tray, did we?
We should have had a grand opening tray.
Maybe Gary bring it next week.
You know, she should have fixed us up with that. Carla takes care of us on that.
We could have sausage and cheese. Oh, speaking of that.
Yeah.
Where was I at? I was cutting through the corner. You know where Johnny Brock's place is? Highway 9 and whatever, Blanchard.
This 9 and Blanchard Latex Road. Latex Road.
Whatever.
Where he's got all the
exotic animals, There's a store there on that corner. And I was cutting through to Tommy Brown's place, and I walked in that store. On the counter, they had a hoop of cheese at room temperature with a big slicer. When was the last time you've been in a store that had a hoop cheese?
Yeah.
Like sitting on top of an old barrel head or something like that.
Cutting board.
Yeah.
And had a slicer on it. She says, how much you want? And I said, well, about £1 pound. She said, you just tell me when to move this cleaver.
That's old school there, man. That's old school.
And whatever chunk I got was $5. And I ate every bit of it before I got Tommy Brown.
My dad, we had a country store over at Talco that was in the middle of nowhere, and he had cheese, and Dad would go get some summer sausage, and they'd put it in a package, wrap it up in that white paper.
Oh, yeah.
Take it out there, and that was our lunch.
And let me tell you what will blow you away. Barry Lewis showed this to me one day. Stopped out there in Bellevue someplace and got cheese like that. And instead of crackers, he got a box of vanilla wafers.
Really?
Cheese and vanilla wafers is one of the most incredible tasting things. It's like
sweet salty.
It's like eating, I guess, peanut butter and bananas or whatever you think wouldn't be worth a flip. And we'll stop you up for a week. But cheese, a piece of cheese between 2 vanilla wafers is one of the best things.
I gotta try that.
Yeah. I'll bring it.
Okay.
Lunch is
You're
on
in
me.
charge.
That sounds like some deer stand food, which I want to get to you guys at some point over the next few weeks. What's some great deer stand food that you can eat? That would be a good one. Vanilla wafers and cheese.
I learned real early on with kids.
Yeah.
You don't take
anything in a wrapper.
Noisy food. You don't take Cheetos or Doritos. The first time that I took Buddy deer hunting, I took Cheetos or Doritos. I don't remember which one it was, and we were about as quiet as a brush fire. It was I learned real quick. You take marshmallows and Fig Newtons.
Something soft.
It's real soft, and you take lots of and a coloring book.
Yeah, a zip
well, nowadays you don't even take the coloring book. You take that stupid little game they play or the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't hardly even get a text message on my phone anymore because Colt, the youngest McCoy boy, has got so blasted many games loaded on this thing. I have no idea. He's used up all the memory.
They call it the greatest babysitter ever.
Dude.
It's the phone.
Now, I tell you, foods you don't want on the, you don't want.
I can name you a bunch of foods you don't want.
Like the day before, don't eat speckled butter beans.
No.
You don't do that.
No.
Or Pittsburgh hot links out of East Texas.
Oh, wait, you know what? You said hot links. That when you were talking a minute ago about getting the cheese and stuff, that's another thing that I used to love. Just stop at an old country store, get some hot links. They put a little bit of that homemade barbecue sauce on.
Which ones are you talking about?
I'm talking about hot links.
You're talking about
I don't want this little panty waist stuff.
You're not talking about the Pittsburgh hot links where they're deep fried.
Oh no.
Lord. Dude,
I'm talking about a regular grilled hot link that'll set you on fire.
Yeah, no, that's different than what I'm talking about.
Well,
I wouldn't want to eat that on stand.
Deer stand food, nothing beats whatever you can get from Bellevue Meat Market.
Amen.
There you go.
Hey, you load up.
Also, we want to welcome back Natchitoches Power Sports, formerly Yonda Hama.
Yonda Hama.
Yami Hammer Wonder World.
Formerly Honda Yamaha Village of Natchitoches is now Natchitoches Power Sports, and also Commercial Power Equipment. Paul and the gang, they're back on. So I want to thank all those.
Where'd you get Natchitoches meat pies?
I've tried, believe me.
You'd think he'd have a little stroke in the Natchitoches area. I mean, he lived there for 400
I hit a lot of home runs, but that's one there. That wasn't even a single. I couldn't even get up to the plate with them people. But anyway, want to thank all the sponsors for coming back on board and those that are to come. We may have something really neat to talk about the next few weeks. We got some people that are kind of on the fence, so to speak, and taking a look at the package that we've put out there. And if you're interested, you can contact me or Gary McCoy or Mike Eccles, and we'll be glad to get you a packet if you're interested in sponsoring this fall session all the way up through hunting season, which is the end of January. We're more than welcome, and we'll work with you any way you want to work with us, and you'll benefit from it.
Now, I've only been here for 2 out of the 7 years that you've had this show, but you said something the other day in a meeting that is a testimony to what you have done over the 7 years, that like 95%.
Don't swell him up.
Well, if I don't do it, he'll do it himself.
I'm so next to him on this side. His head gets to leaning heavy this way, and
his head looks like a float in a Macy Day parade.
The headset's splitting on me.
Anyway, 95% of the sponsors have been with Hook It Up and Tracking Down for 6 or 7 years.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
From day one.
And that just doesn't happen.
Right.
No.
Right.
So, you're exactly right, Mike. And it's been a lot of work on all of us.
I would like to think that we're that good, but apparently we're that too cheap.
They have something to do with it.
Hey, about an hour from now, we're going to get to talk to Keith Poche.
Yeah.
He's the Elite Series pro, Keith Poche. Why'd he do it?
I don't know if he was just desperate or what.
He got married.
He got hitched.
He had it made.
Yeah.
I mean, here he was, an Elite Series pro, single, getting to roam the country.
Yeah.
Doing we get to live through guys like Keith Poche.
Exactly.
And then he walked the aisle, man.
Yeah.
And at the risk of sounding tutti frutti, he's a nice-looking guy.
Well, he is.
He's a great-looking guy.
If I had his looks, and, he's obviously making a little bank, he's an Elite Series pro.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Dude.
He got a shot at making the Classic. He's right there in the hunt. So
I don't understand. Oh, speaking of making the Classic, kudos to our boy Brett Pruitt. He's from Colfax, Louisiana.
Oh, is he from Colfax?
He's from Colfax, Louisiana.
He might can help me on the Red River on that end.
I bet he could. Just finished up school at the University of Louisiana Monroe, and yesterday qualified to go to the Bassmasters Classic. February the 20th through the 22nd. They're going to, I think, South Carolina this year.
Can you imagine how excited he is?
Oh, dude.
We're going to try to get him lined up. I've sent somebody, Dave Preck. You know Dave Preck.
Wait, the editor.
Editor for Bassmaster Magazine, Bass Times.
Yeah.
He's from Northwestern State.
Yeah.
Dave's a graduate.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a graduate of Northwestern State. So Dave and I have a connection. Anyway, I sent him an email. He's going to try to get me Brett's contact information. We're going to try to have Brett on next week.
I loved his quote, because everything that could go wrong for this kid, for Brett Pruitt, had gone wrong.
Yeah.
Hooked himself in the head.
Oh, that ain't
big old treble hook right in the head. Had lost fish, missed fish, couldn't get anything really going for the first couple of days of competition. Final day, everything that could go right
went right. And
in fact, the boy who had led it wire to wire, this Parker kid, kind of fell apart on the last day, and Brett moved in there and won the whole shooting match, that Carhartt Bassmaster College Series, the Classic. He pulled it off.
Where was that at? I'm sorry.
It was in Hiawassee, Georgia. I can't remember the river body there. Lake Chatouge.
That's what I thought.
Oh, he even lost a rod. Went off in the lake trying to get the rod that he had lost and never got it back.
It's like Iaconelli has said. I've heard him say, when it's your turn, it's your turn.
Yeah.
It's just your turn.
Yeah.
And it was his turn.
And he smoked them yesterday. I mean, it was unreal the way he pulled it off. So, congratulations, Brett. We're all rooting for you, and hopefully we'll get him on the show.
I'm going to Cocodrie tomorrow.
Cocodrie?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Trout and redfish. Hadn't been in about 3 years.
Any reports?
Who you going with?
Trout?
Dwayne Chapman from Minden and Larry Riffle from Minden, also the guys I duck hunt with. Dwayne's family has a camp down there, and we're going to go down. And
that'd be cool.
And I really hope the trout bite. You know, it's been slow. Just another leg in this extended cool weather. The trout fishing all across South Louisiana is behind.
Really? I know when me and Meredith went down late July last year, trout fishing was off completely. We didn't catch 5 between us in 2 days.
Well, hopefully it'll be better, because I don't want to go 5.5 hours one way to catch redfish.
They don't want to go with you at all.
That's a haul.
I know, but if we may catch, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you my own freshwater, saltwater report.
All right. What are we looking for? What's your bass IQ?
Yeah.
We'll put you to the test. Mike's going to give us a Caddo Lake fishing report here in just a sec, and a preview of the Ram Slam semifinals. It's hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
Every now and then you gotta raise a little hell. Hope we get lucky.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452. You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? That's like wearing your high school Letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
You're hooking up and tracking down on 1130 The Tiger. This segment presented by Nichols Department Stores, Toledo Fiberglass, Paul's Farm and Garden, and J&J Exterminating. Now back to the best outdoor radio show west of the Mississippi and east of the Rockies with Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and the one and only Mike Eccles.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. 1130 The Tiger. It's hooking up and tracking down. I'm Gary McCoy. Along with me, the Ranger Pro Staffer, Daiwa Rod Pro Staffer, Steve Graff, Mike Eccles in the house. And with football season right around the corner, now is the time to look for an RV or a motorhome from Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, Bossier City. Top name brands like Tiffin, Fleetwood, Forest River, Dutchman, many, many more. Don't waste time making hotel reservations when you could be at the big game in your very own hotel on wheels. Tailgating with friends and family up close to all the action while having all the conveniences of home. Stop on in, let their wonderful sales staff show you the great selection of RVs and motorhomes. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, Texas Street, Bossier City.
That's it, David. That's what everybody needs, an RV or a fifth wheeler or a motorhome. I mean,
you know what?
Everybody needs one of those.
Jeff's on the phone from the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. Jeff, how do you say your last name?
Dugay.
That's what we thought. Dugay. Yes. Jeff Dugay's on. Is it cool? Can you take a motorhome out to
exactly how it looks?
Home out there and to the middle of the dove field and not be breaking any laws?
Yeah, it's not illegal to bring a motorhome out there, sure.
Okay.
Can you shoot out of the inside where it's air conditioned?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you could or not. I guess you'd have to check with law enforcement on that.
I guess you're not on a
I'm hoping we're talking to law enforcement.
No, I'm a biologist, morning dove biologist.
Okay, so Jeff Dugay from Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries is a biologist. We're going to call you the hooking up and tracking down dove expert.
There you go.
Okay?
That sounds good.
Now, couple of things that we got to clear up first. What is the limit on the regular mourning dove that we traditionally see around here?
It's 15 birds daily.
And after opening day, you can have in your possession how many?
You can have 3 times the daily bag limit, so 45 birds.
Right. Now, that got expanded here the last couple of years because it used to only be 2 times the daily bag limit, right?
Right, that's correct.
Okay. Now, there is another dove that we see a lot of late in the area, and that is...
Well, there's 2. There's the white-winged doves. They're expanding across the state.
Yeah.
And there's also the collared dove.
Right. The white-winged dove, there is no limit. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct.
Okay, which one is there no limit on?
It's the collared dove.
The collared dove.
Eurasian.
And that's that big sucker.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, Eurasian collared dove, right. They're big.
Okay. A lot of people think that that's just a regular mourning dove that just hung up here and stayed here locally and just got big. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's different species.
How hard is it to tell apart a Eurasian dove from a pigeon?
Well, the Eurasian dove, they tend to be a lighter colored, and they have a band around their neck.
But I can't see that when they're going 70 miles an hour across the field.
Well,
yeah, that's your job.
Right, but pigeons, too. There's no limit on pigeons either, so
Oh, okay.
they don't have to worry about
And they taste as good as a Eurasian.
Hey,
That's right.
Have you tried pigeon before?
No.
Jeff.
No.
Jeff.
No, I haven't had pigeon. I
Squab,
may have to go try some.
have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
Yes.
I've never seen a baby pigeon.
Oh, yeah, they're ugly.
That's what we're going to start calling stink bait. Baby pigeons.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, Jeff, there were some things that were going to be recommended at the last Wildlife Fisheries meeting about opening day, opening half hour before sunrise. Normally
Yeah.
it's at noon. Did that pass? What happened with that?
Yes, yeah, it passed. We recommended a half hour before sunrise. They approved that, except on our WMAs and fields that we lease for opening day. On those, it'll still be 12 noon.
Oh, okay.
Opening
And
day,
also-
you can shoot a half hour
Before sunrise.
official
That is
sunrise
correct.
for that area, except in those 2 particular areas, y'all's leased fields and WMAs.
Correct.
What was the purpose for not having it that way to begin? Why did they always start at noon? Was that
It was just tradition. People
Okay.
like to get together and tailgate.
Yeah.
so there was no scientific reason? It's just something they just started doing.
Arkansas and Texas both opened early, and Louisiana opened at noon.
Right.
So, and I think Jeff's absolutely right. It revolved around the social aspect of opening day of
Yeah.
dove season.
Right.
Yeah? Now, Jeff, this is Mike Eccles, and I've got a question for you. Now, I don't want you to give me the proper answer. I want you to tell me your honest opinion, okay?
Sure.
Okay. A dove, on the average, has a lifespan of approximately a year. Is that correct?
You know, it's hard to say. They haven't done a lot of studies on that, but the majority of them don't live that long.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
probably 3 or 4 months.
Okay. So a bird that does not live for multiple years flies through here, is going to go to South Texas or Mexico, where it is either going to be shot by hunters or it dies. Why in the world do federal and state agents make such a big deal out of killing one too many or killing them over
Yeah. Why have a limit?
bait, or is it just because it's easy for them to catch dove hunters? Or what's the big deal? You're not protecting anything. You're protecting something that is fixing to go die in a month or two and lay on the ground and rot.
Well, it comes down to the way things started early on, when European settlers got here. There was unregulated hunting, and a lot of species declined drastically. So we have to have
the carrier pigeon.
Right, exactly. They were the passenger pigeon. They were exterminated. They were extinct due to overhunting, and there were billions of those. So if we had unregulated hunting on mourning doves, we could theoretically wipe them out.
Wasn't that 68 when the Europeans got here? Beatles, wasn't they, from Europe?
Yeah, maybe so.
Jeff,
I don't think
Jeff.
I don't think
Pray,
Beatles.
pray for me, Jeff. Okay, Jeff. Getting back to Mike's question here.
Right.
Where do these doves breed? Where are the babies born?
Oh, in Louisiana, we have breeding almost year-round. So they breed throughout the state, but they breed, as far north as Canada. They're found all over the U.S.
Are we the dove's
they
biggest
migrate
predator?
that far?
What's that?
Go ahead, Gary.
Are we the dove's biggest predator?
No, we're not. Hunters take a real small proportion. I think hawks are probably the major predator of mourning doves.
Like they are with quail. I know red-tailed hawks are bad.
But now a quail nest on the ground, a dove nest in a tree.
Right.
And that surprises me that the fox is that big a predator.
Because they.
No, I said hawk.
Fox.
Hawk.
Hawk. I'm sorry. I thought you said fox.
Hawk.
Okay.
Hawk, yeah.
Okay. I'll give you that one, Jeff.
But the reason why I ask that is if we aren't the biggest predator, the animal is probably going to live less than 6 months to begin with. We've got to have some regulations, but why is 15 the number? Why not 50? Why not? Why would we make such a big deal about?
Why jail time if you make a mistake?
Sure.
Well,
now this is all your speculation. I understand that there are federal regards and things like that, but again, like Mike said, just your opinion.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We could shoot more, but we got to draw the line somewhere.
I mean, it's
15's
like
a lot of birds.
But it's like the snow geese.
Well,
the problem, shoot all them you want to shoot.
But snow geese are really increasing, and they're causing a lot of ecological damage.
Oh.
Mourning doves aren't. Their numbers are pretty stable. And of course they're not going to cause any ecological damage.
Right.
So what you're saying is what we're doing is essentially working, and so don't upset the apple cart if it's working.
Right, it is working. What we could do, theoretically, let's say we increase the bag limit. If that resulted in dove populations declining, then in order for them to rebound, we'd probably have to shorten the season and or decrease the bag limit.
Yeah.
Okay, and don't get me wrong, Jeff. In no way was I advocating unregulated hunting at all.
Sure.
I mean, I'm a proponent of the laws most of the time, and
as long as they don't apply to him.
Yeah. As long as I don't get in a crack. But you're absolutely right. I would also bet you 95% of the dove hunting happens opening weekend.
Yeah.
It does.
Oh,
So
no doubt.
why not make it 100 birds a person and go from 90 days to 30 days?
Or 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, you put a lot of outfitters out of business in Mexico, probably.
Well, that's true. That's
Okay,
true.
now Jeff, we're gonna change path on this just a little bit. A couple of things in regards to the law. Mike mentioned a little bit earlier that yes, indeed, you can put out seed, corn chops, whatever, prior to the start of season, as long as all of it is gone, completely gone, by what time before the season starts?
I believe it's 2 weeks before the season starts.
14 days. As long as it's completely eradicated 14 days before the season starts, you can do that. I'm going to tell you right now, for anybody who's listening, watching right now, don't do it.
Right.
You're going to think that it was all gone, and that game warden is going to step up on a pond bank somewhere and find 3 grains that you didn't know were there, and you have just broken the law. And it was a $550 fine. Bam.
You know exactly.
Sounds to me like you looked at a canceled check before you got here.
I wrote 3 of them.
Did you? Okay, you have experience.
I paid for 2 other guys who were with me because, God love them, they were just as ignorant as me, but they were just hanging out with a dummy.
That must have been Larry and Curly.
But the long and short is it's not worth the risk.
Right.
And honestly, do you agree that a front can come in that week anyway and change the complete scheme of things?
Oh, no doubt.
It sure could. It could, move birds out, move birds in, yeah.
Well, just for everybody's information, the North Zone opens September the 6th and runs through the 28th. That's 7 extra days this year you have in the first couple of
actually
weeks.
7.5, because now you don't have to wait until noon.
Wait till noon.
Yeah, we have 90 extra. We've gone from a 70 to a 90-day season this year, so we've got an additional 20 days of hunting.
Right, total 20-day increase. That's good.
Okay, let me ask you a biological question, Jeff. We see it all the time. We see doves. We see them stack up. We're going to have a great hunt. We have a thunderstorm. We have a little cold snap. The birds are gone overnight. Do birds, but then you go back during duck season and you kill them in the snow. Do birds leave our area because of the negativity of the weather, or are they using the storms to ride the wind to another feeding location?
Yeah, a lot of times, the storms actually can blow them to new locations. And exactly why they do it, we don't know. We don't know if they're.
I can assure you, I'm never where they've been blown to. I'm always where they've been blown away from.
Man, you should have been here yesterday.
Jeff Duguay from Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. Thank you. We really appreciate you, man.
All right. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, thanks.
That's awesome. Okay, so this year, anybody that's listening right now, growing up your whole life, you had to wait until noon to hunt, which, honestly, that's one of the big things that we do down at Grand Canyon. We have a big lunch and everybody's eating. Dove's not generally flying until, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon anyway. Well, now you get that good morning hunting.
Right, unless you're on a WMA.
Unless you're on a WMA
or their private lease.
Right, exactly. Then you can't do that. But now you can get a good hunt in the morning.
Yeah.
Then eat your lunch.
Yeah.
And then
go back again.
Exactly.
You can't go back and kill another limit.
Well, no. If you limit it out in the morning, you're done.
Right.
Yeah, you're done. Okay, hooking up and tracking down. All right, I messed things up a minute ago. Obviously, we spoke with Jeff Duguay then. Now we're going to find out what's your bass IQ, get that Caddo Lake fishing report, and a preview of the Ram Slam finals. I promise you, that one is next. Hooking up and tracking down. 11:30, the Tiger.
I got me old fiddle when the sun's coming up. I got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
This segment presented by Toledo Bend Lake Country, Commercial Power Equipment, Ranger Boats, and Bob Seeley Outdoors, home of the $1 million Big Bass Splash. Take it away, guys.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. It's Hooking Up and Tracking Down on 1130 The Tiger. Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and the Ranger Pro Staffer, Steve Graff. And got a question for you. We want to know, what's your bass IQ? Steve's going to try to test us here. He thinks he's got a couple of questions that are going to stump us. Of course,
I got some good ones today.
He keeps forgetting just how smart Eccles and I really are.
Well,
let me tell you what. If we got Stinkbait over there with a computer, if you ask one that we can't get, he's going to Google it for us. So you better be right.
Today's questions are tough. Okay. I thought they were one of them y'all will probably get.
No going to your phone and pretending like you're talking to your wife during this test, McCoy.
And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I have not looked at the answers at all.
I've been busted.
I wanted to know if I even knew these answers. I'm going to guess myself.
Okay.
I've got the page where it's at. But
I've got the answers, but I'm going to guess.
Yeah, but I'm going to guess. But I know where the answers are at.
I've had this sheet for a week, and I promise you I haven't looked at it.
I really haven't. I have not looked at it.
You know what? Before you get to these questions, I just saw, what was it, yesterday or this morning, Jimmy Watson posted an article. We've got a couple of big bass tournaments that are coming to town. Speaking of Bass IQ.
Yeah. Bass Champs
Bass Champs. And one of the college finals is going to be here.
We talked about them last week.
Okay.
I forgot to get the information again.
Yeah.
Bass Champs is October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Now you can continue, sir.
Okay, here we go.
Let her rip, teacher.
First question. Before the Bassmaster Classic, see, now we're getting back to Mike's time.
Yeah.
He'll probably have a leg up on us on this one.
Before the classic.
You're not going to like the view if I do.
I got to get through this, man.
Yeah, I think I just threw up in my mouth.
There was the World Series of Sport Fishing before the Bassmaster Classic. Who is the only two-time winner? A, Glenn Andrews, B, Bill Dance, C, Jimmy Houston, or D, Virgil Ward?
I'm going to say Virgil.
I'm going to say Virgil, too. That's what I would have guessed.
Okay.
I'm going to say Bill.
You're going to say Bill.
All right. Now, you got to turn all the way. Why don't you... Okay.
Andrews was an Arkansas guide and lure manufacturer who won the World Series in 65 and 66. Ward won it in 62. Houston won the last World Series in 68. Dance never won the title.
You know what? If it weren't for guys like Virgil Ward and Homer Circle, I mean, you think about it. I mean,
I grew up watching Virgil Ward every week.
I mean, what would we wouldn't have had anything to aspire to. Kids nowadays just don't realize, especially these young collegiate anglers, they don't realize how good they got it.
Y'all will know this next, especially you, Gary, because you're in the music industry.
Yeah.
In the 1970s and early 80s, lure maker Tom Mann had a pet bass named Leroy Brown after the popular song by what recording artist? A, David Bowie, B, Jim Croce.
Nope. Okay, go ahead.
C, Bob Dylan, or D, Elvis Presley?
Well, you know that one. It's B.
I would have thought Croce.
Yeah, it's Jim Croce.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Bad Leroy Brown.
You think that's right?
Want me to sing it for you?
Yeah.
Yep,
No.
you are correct. You are correct. Number 3, after Dean Rojas set the BASS record for the heaviest 5 bass limit on Florida's Kissimmee chain in January of 2001, who was the next angler to break the 40-pound mark?
Paul Elias.
No.
No?
That's who I would have thought it was.
I thought it was Paul Elias over there in Texas.
Don't even call him out yet.
Okay.
A, Mark Davis.
Yeah.
B, Paul Elias, who I would have thought
that's who I thought.
C, Steve Kennedy, or D, Terry Scroggins? Mike shook his head on all 4 of those.
Well, the correct answer's not in there.
It's Paul Elias.
So we know he ain't right.
Yeah, it's Paul Elias. It was that Falcon Lake.
Yeah, Falcon.
You know who I thought it was?
Well, we're all wrong.
Uh-oh. It wasn't Elias?
It's Mark Davis.
Where?
41-10. The very next day, it would be 6 years before another angler cracked 40. Elite Series Pro Steve Kennedy did it on Clear Lake in 2007.
Mark Davis did it the next day on Kissimmee.
On Kissimmee.
Wow.
I didn't know
You know who I thought it was? And I wasn't even listening to what tournament it was. I really thought, because he did break a record, was John Dean.
Really?
Yeah, John Dean had a great big string.
On Toledo?
No, I don't remember where it was at.
Okay.
I don't know.
I just barely remember his name.
4th and final question.
What a cool guy. I love John
Jimmy's
Dean.
brother.
No.
Jimmy Dean.
Jimmy
Dean?
No.
Who holds the BASS record for the most wins at one tournament venue? A, Bill Dance. B, Shaw Grigsby. C, Robert Lee, whoever that is. Or D, Kevin Van Dam. I gotta wonder, is it C that we don't even know?
Yeah. I'm going to go with Van Dam just
I'm going
because.
with Shaw Grigsby.
I would have said Shaw Grigsby.
Down in Florida somewhere?
Somewhere in Florida, I would have thought. The answer is Robert Lee. Of course, the name nobody knew. He won 4 BS on the California Delta. Oh, it's out of the country, California.
Yeah.
Between 1997 and 2003. Grigsby has won 3 times at Texas on Sam Rayburn.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Huh.
Do you realize that so far we've all have one question?
I got to hang. Yeah.
I told you it was a tough day. I thought these were tough.
I got to hang out with Sean. You know, he came in for the boat show a number of years ago, and I had to go pick him up at the airport, and we rode around, went and got some lunch. What a cool guy. I mean, just one of the most...
Who?
It's Shaw Grigsby.
One
of the most educated, just cool,
we've had
cool
Shaw
guy.
on, and he's just such a natural. He just can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I love Shaw. He's just
I tried to convince him he needed to shave that mustache, though.
We need to get him on. I need to call him.
Call him.
We'll try to get Shaw on. He's just such a person.
I'll probably talk to him tonight. I'll see if he's busy.
Yeah, see if he's busy, Mike.
So you went to Caddo Lake last week. I was supposed to go while I was on vacation.
Yeah, give us a report.
You went to Caddo, and?
I went to Caddo about 3 times in a week.
Yeah.
And had me and my brother went on a Saturday. We had 28 pounds, 5 fish.
Wow.
Nothing over 6.70.
Yeah.
Hey, I weighed 28 pounds there at Caddo and didn't even get a check one time.
And then went back and caught like 7 or 8 fish. Didn't have fish over 3 pounds. Then went the day that you were talking about going on Thursday when it rained.
No, I wanted to go Friday.
Yeah. And caught one fish. I mean, caught 10 fish. Had one that weighed 828. So, but there have been more.
What'd you catch them on?
I caught the big fish. I caught on a 12-inch worm.
Mm-hmm. What color?
You're nosy.
You're right.
We want a report.
Black.
Okay.
Black.
And how deep of water?
4 foot.
Really?
Is the water clear there right now?
Yep.
What part of the world were you in over there?
I was on Caddo.
Yeah. Big Green Break.
Yep.
Sand Island.
Yeah.
Potter's Point.
Yeah.
Actually, I have caught fish on. I'm sorry. I thought you said Sand Island, Onion Island, the little island right there beside Old Cool Point.
Yeah.
I've actually caught fish there about 3 times this year.
That used to be one of my favorite crankbait holes.
Yep.
How about that?
So, and then I caught the rest of the fish on the Mr.
Black worm. He didn't catch him on a black worm.
I certainly did. No. I wouldn't lie to you.
Black with what?
Black with red flake.
Okay.
There's only one.
That's a Randy Fair comment right there.
Black
Randy, we fished together, and I would be like, what do I need to bring? I'll just bring something black, you know. Okay. I get there, and he's got black, red flake. I'm like, you didn't tell me black and red flake.
He said black.
I went through my freaking storage room trying to find
Who's
black
just got
worms.
a regular black worm anymore? I mean, when was the last time you bought a black worm?
Honestly, on our little private body of water in East Texas, some of our farm pond, I would throw the little black scoundrel by Cream Worms.
Hey, you know what? You think about this. When was the last time you threw a blue worm?
Ice blue.
Just an ice blue? Like old Tom Mann?
Oh, yeah.
Jelly worm?
Dude, I don't know.
When was the last time you threw? I guarantee you that.
I don't throw the blue worm, but I threw the blue pocket series, the crawl worm, a lot.
Hey, don't you throw that blue worm on Cross Lake unless you got new string.
Well, you know, blue sapphire is the blue with the metal flake in it. It's that bright blue. That's another good color on
I've got
Caddo
a question
Cross Lake.
for the audience if somebody knows the answer to this. A friend of mine, Barry Lewis, fishes out at C. Bickham Dixon Park, the lake, and he fishes the Lake Caroline, the new Red River Refuge, right below the Sandy Davis
Been in there, but boy, that's pretty in there.
And the other day, he caught some fish and kept them, some small fish to eat. He found several fish when he cleaned them. In the meat was a nodule. So he said it looked like a tiny, tiny mussel, but there was as many as 8 or 10 of them. He said the bigger ones almost as big as like a black-eyed pea, but they were hard, black, in the meat, like you see worms and stuff sometimes in the meat.
Yeah, in fish.
But he said 8 or 10 of them in some of the fish. Does anybody know what they are? Never seen them before.
320-1130, 320-1130. Of course, you can also jump on our Facebook page, Hooking Up and Tracking Down on Facebook. You can answer that question for us there.
Exactly.
And you know what? Anytime that you're looking for like old archive shows, some of our pointers, things that are going on, check it out on our website at hutd.net. That's hookuptrackdown.net. Check that out. Okay. Hey, thanks for that report. I'll
give you a saltwater report next week.
Okay. Ram Slam semifinals?
Yes. Golly, you throw this stuff on me. The semifinals is going to be August the 17th. It will be. We have 8 teams qualified for it. It will either be on Cross Lake, Red River, or Lake Bistineau. The drawing will be the evening before Saturday. We have 8 teams. Team Phoenix, that's the Clarence and Tom Boss, will be competing against. God, who are they competing against? I didn't write all this down.
The other guys.
Yeah, the other guys. 8 teams. And KMSS, we're going to film the weigh-in.
Oh, cool.
At whatever location to weigh in. The finals are going to be September the 7th, and that will be drawn between the 2 remaining lakes.
Okay.
And we'll actually go out on the water. There'll be 4 teams that compete on the last day. We're going to film them on the water and then film the weigh-in at Landers Dodge. And the winners, 4 teams, first place in the finals are going to get $2,500, second place $1,500, third place $1,000, and fourth place is going to be $500.
Fantastic.
So that's the August the 17th and September the 7th. We're going to be winding it down. The Cash Splash Final Championship, where we're going to give away a Stratus boat, is going to be on Cross Lake, September the 27th.
And how many teams have you got for that?
There was, I think, 61 teams qualified for that.
Fantastic.
And I'd like to, are we out of time?
Well, we are, but that's okay.
It's time for that's what the music's for.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't hear.
That's okay. No, we're going to listen to your answer. You're more important.
No. Cut it off. I'll talk about this later.
Okay. Looking up and tracking down, 11:30, the Tiger.
Can't shut me up.
3 old guys.
Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, midwaymarinastmaurice.com, or call 318-646-0097.
Rick Terrell here for Terrell Brothers Furniture in Natchez, where we've got 7-piece living room groups as low as $5.99. You heard right, 7-piece living room groups as low as $5.99. We've got over 20 groups to choose from. So before you buy living room furniture anywhere, come to Terrell Brothers Furniture, 310 Texas Street in Natchitoches.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? It's like wearing your high school letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
I am for the child who's had 7 addresses in a single year because she's in foster care, because her father abused her, and her mother couldn't believe her. She is the child I am for. I am a CASA volunteer. I am you.
The Natchez Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Victor Jones encourage all citizens to remember to be safe, buckle up, and remember, no texting.
This is Hooking Up and Tracking Down on 1130 The Tiger. This segment presented by Santone Lures, the Red River Waterway, and Vicious Fishing Line. Get vicious with the fishes. Now back to the guys who set the standard in outdoor radio, just not very high. Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eckel.
God love you. Hey, thank you for hanging out with us. We do everything in our power to make it as painful as possible. Gary McCoy, the Ranger Pro staffer, Steve Graff, and Mike Eckel's in the house. And I don't know if Stinkbait, have you still got our Outdoor Outlaws music?
I sure do.
Okay, let's see if we can't. Well, let's see if
that queued up.
They are finally. Oh, you want to get back to your other thing first?
No, I'm supposed to read something.
Okay, read away.
It's not your turn. Oh yeah, it is your turn. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm right. Everybody else is wrong. Some stores just don't have everything. You go to 5 different places to get what you need. But Nichols Department Store has everything from hunting to potpourri. I want some of that stuff. Work clothes to thumbtacks. It really is a one-stop shop for any and all the things a man or a woman could want.
You need to keep that potpourri in your underwear drawer. I'm going to tell you that for a fact.
I need to keep them in the underwear I got on. Name brands like Carhartt, Remington, Winchester, Levi, and Wrangler. Hunting and fishing supplies that will make your next trip a successful one. With locations in Manny, Winfield, DeRidder, DeQuincy, and Leesville, you're sure to find a store near you. That's Nichols Department Store, the only store you'll ever need.
Okay. Finally.
I saved y'all again.
How long's it been gone?
Hey, we ain't done this in a while.
2 months?
I can't find them.
I know. People heard.
I know.
They were making Hooking Up and Tracking Down on the Outdoor Outlaws.
We're making them famous, and they don't like it.
Lawyers were suing us.
And you know what's so funny is we used to always get these stories of guys that have got on the wrong side of the law in the state of Louisiana. We don't ever get those anymore. Only Texas guys are breaking the law.
Forever, yeah. I could find it every week. I could find stories.
You remember the guy that shot
every week?
You remember the guy that shot the bear thinking it was a hog, and he turned himself in, and the judge just still hammered him.
Oh yeah, he did.
You know, we get stories like that all the time. Guys, you know, doing stupid stuff on Kisatchie.
Right.
Doesn't happen anymore. Either the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries is hiding that information from us, or we have really educated ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay, this one in Tarrant County, game warden was checking bank fishermen at Benbrook Lake when she... This is a female game warden.
Yeah, female game.
When was the last time you saw a female game warden?
It was in Texas.
How about you, Eccles?
Texas, where I saw
Handcuff me, baby.
When was the last time you saw a woman game warden? I've never seen one.
I don't know.
The one I saw was in training several years ago when we were on a quail hunt. She was in training with the guy.
Okay. She's checking these bank fishermen, Benbrook Lake. She notices a man walking around carrying an ice chest full of fish, and he quickly took it to his truck. Well, after contacting the guy, the warden found 2 ice chests full of white bass. Man said, and I love this one, man said, I was told by a friend that the limit was 75 white bass per day. Yeah, that always works. You know, the minute you just pull out that friend card, you know, it's, your friend said it's okay to shoot deer at night. Oh, okay. Well, as long as your friend said that was okay.
He said as long as you didn't get caught, you were okay.
Yeah, my friend said I could shoot from my truck on I-20. Any rate, the man insisted that he was under his limit. Total of 56 white bass were in the man's possession. The warden seized 31 white bass, issued citations, and gave the man a copy of the outdoor annual. Case is pending. Okay, something pops up on that one for me. Obviously, the limit is 25.
Yeah.
She takes 31 of them. He gets to keep the 25. Even I thought they took all of them when you were
over the limit.
They take all the ones over the limit. So if you get caught
like
shooting doves,
or
if you get caught, they give you you get to take home that limit.
Do you?
You just don't get to take home the gun. Or
You've
the
been
truck.
caught before, hadn't you?
I've never, hadn't been caught.
I didn't realize they would leave you.
I'm like you. That does seem a little strange. I would have thought they would have taken everything.
Yeah.
And I can assure you, if I get caught with over the limit of dove, I've lost my appetite. You can have them all.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't want no doves anymore.
I can't afford the grease now after the fine.
But I'd never heard of that. Any rate, case is pending on that one.
All right, Mike.
I can't imagine there's a case.
Bloodshot eyes with a clue. Why'd y'all give this one to me?
Well, that's the pot calling the kettle black.
Two game wardens were patrolling Lake Brownwood with a Brownwood Lake patrol officer when they stopped a pontoon boat for a routine water safety check. The operator had bloodshot eyes and slurred speech. Sounds like me. One of the wardens took the driver ashore for a further testing, including field sobriety test, and arrested him for boating while intoxicated. The man consented to blood drawn and was transported to the Brown County Jail. A lot of people do not realize that game wardens will do field sobriety tests, are required to do field sobriety tests, and the blood level alcohol is exactly in a boat, I think is what it is, driving a vehicle.
Yeah.
It's a motorized vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and
now, you can refuse that, I think, but you're automatically going to jail, I think, if you refuse it.
Yeah.
But you will not. But you cannot be held guilty of a DWI
if you refuse.
Right. If you refuse, you cannot be found. You know that you were driving while intoxicated. You can be
So what's the lesson here?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can be fined for DWI, but you cannot be charged. What are you saying? I mean, if they take you, if you refuse the field sobriety
all you can
test,
be charged is the refusal. Because I mean, we got to get my brother-in-law.
So it's not admission
He's
of guilt.
the judge. My brother-in-law is the judge. He'll clear that one up. I'm not sure. I know that you can refuse. The best case is just
don't drink and boat.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid.
if you're gonna be out a group of people, you really do need to have a designated driver in the boat or the party barge.
Exactly.
If you're out on the lake, skiing and having a cool pop.
My question on that one is, if you do get charged with a DWI while you're boating, does it affect your car insurance?
I don't know. Well, I mean, if your boat, it would affect your insurance, I would think.
your car insurance. I'm talking about, is it? Yep. Stink bait says the same thing.
Stink bait says yes.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
All right. A little closer to home, in the heat of the night, Shelby County Game Warden patrolling Toledo Bend boat ramps and camping areas, checking night fishermen, noticed a campfire along the shoreline near a boat ramp. As he approached the fire, he heard cast nets hitting the water. After watching the two subjects fish for a while, he made contact. The warden found an ice chest containing bass, crappie, and catfish. Multiple citations were issued for undersized largemouth bass and fishing using illegal means and methods. Cases and restitution are pending.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, the best for last. Y'all are going to love this.
Okay.
How stupid can you be?
Is that the title?
No, that's I'm just throwing
I don't know, Betty. I have set the bar kind of high on stupid.
This came from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources Law Enforcement Division. More bass fishing cheaters have been busted this time on Banks Lake in Lanier County, Georgia. 2 tournament anglers purchased an 11.5-pound bass from 2 recreational anglers who were not involved in a competition. This came from Captain Scott Klingel, South Central Region Supervisor for the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. Tournament anglers Ronnie Eunice, I want y'all to know these guys' names. Ronnie Eunice and Brandon Smith were competing as a team in the Southern Bass Busters Association tournament. This was just July the 12th of 2014. When a recreational fishing boat approached them, the recreational anglers were Dustin Miller, Sarah DeMott, and they stated they had caught a big bass and asked the tournament guys could they weigh them on their scales. The tournament anglers weighed the fish at approximately 11.5 pounds. Somewhere in the course of the interaction, a deal was struck in which Eunice and Smith would buy the bass from the recreational angler for $250. Ooh. It's unclear whose idea this transaction was, but it was confirmed that the fish was sold. Eunice and Smith, redneck goobers, only had $100 in cash between the two of them, so they handed over the cash and promised the additional $150 upon collecting their prize money in the tournament.
Oh my God!
Oh gee!
The tournament ended. Eunice and Smith weighed the fish in as their own. They won first place and big bass. Here's where it gets you. For a grand total of $315. It had to be a club tournament.
Yeah, obviously.
Big bass in first place is $350. They've invested $250 in illegal fish.
And they said that couple still wants their other $150.
After the tournament, Miller and DeMott did not receive their additional $150, prompting them to, another set of goobers, go to the authorities
and sue them.
I sold this game fish to these people, and they didn't pay me all my money. I want to have them arrested.
And I'm still recovering from wearing a ghillie suit laying in the road.
Exactly.
After investigation by the Department of Resources Law Enforcement, all parties were issued citations for illegal buying and selling of the game fish. The angler who actually caught the big fish, Dustin Miller, was given an additional ticket for not having a fishing license.
Oh my gosh!
Stupid!
Stop, Mike.
The
Can
bass,
anybody be that dumb?
Yes,
they were.
Yeah.
So
hey, look at my poor wife. Look what she married.
Yeah, we pray for her every day. She's on my prayer list.
Okay, we're gonna.
The only good thing about this is they can be charged with contest fraud, but it was $350 is all they could, or whatever it was.
So it's not
a felony. No. I think it's got to be $600.
Yeah. All right, interviewing Elite Series pro Keith Poche just got married. We're gonna find out why. That's next. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
I am for the child who's had 7 addresses in a single year because she's in foster care, because her father abused her, and her mother couldn't believe her. She is the child I am for. I am a CASA volunteer. I am you.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452.
You're watching KNTS Digital 19 in Natchitoches, Louisiana.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter and fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
We love it. It's exciting.
Esto es vida. We wear it to be safe.
We're teaching our kids about safe boating.
We all love this life.
Wear it and love the life. This message brought to you by the National Safe Boating Council.
Too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter, and your heating and air conditioning system is burning holes in your paycheck? You need to call Luke at Guy Heating and Air. Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities, such as trap, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecore Bridge.
And welcome back to Hour 2 of Hooking Up and Tracking Down. Ranger Buck Pro staffer Steve Graff, Mike Eccles, Gary McCoy. Gary McCoy has stepped out for just a minute. He'll be right back. We're waiting on a phone call right now from Keith Poche, Elite Series Pro. Hopefully, I just tried to call Keith. Maybe I woke him up. I don't know. He's at the Delaware River, Mike, up there getting ready for a BASS event.
That's out of town.
Yeah.
You know, while we're waiting on Keith, I want to remind everybody, August the 14th, at Paul's Farm and Garden up on North Market, they're going to have their annual wildlife seminar. And we'll talk about this again next Wednesday on the 13th. But every year, Paul and them and the folks up at Paul's Farm and Garden has this seminar, and they bring in people from the food plot companies to give demonstrations and seminars on planting stuff, wildlife biologists. I think they feed you. I'm not sure about that, but I do know we're
going to make sure that he does this year.
Yeah, that's right. Get some stuff from Bellevue Meat Market. But they have a tremendous amount of drawings. They give away deer stands, corn, feeders, cameras, and stuff. So if you want to call up there and talk to Paul or some of the folks up there, August the 14th, the wildlife seminar at Paul's Farm and Garden on North Market.
Have you talked to Paul in the last little bit?
No.
I'm just wanting to know where we are on the price of corn this year. You know, is it a better year, worse year? You know,
I think it's cheaper than it was last year.
Okay, good.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I would think it'd be a good year because we've had such good rains this year, and very timely rains across the country.
Yeah.
So I would think the corn crop would be really good this year.
Well, I tell you what, here a couple of years ago, I mean, it got, $9 a bag, $10 a bag?
Oh, it was high. It was out the roof, man. But we had such a major drought last year, you know. But I know the sweet corn, like down at Coshada, where I buy a lot of my groceries, they had sweet corn all the way up to about a week ago.
We forgot to mention a caller a few minutes ago, and I apologize. All my fault. Caller wanted to know, in our opinion, the best 25 horsepower outboard available.
I say Yamaha.
I'm with you. What do you say?
I have been a Yamaha guy for about 25 years.
Yeah.
Still think it's top of the line, the best out there. I have an Evinrude E-Tech right now, a 150 on a Stratus, and I would say that it will rival the Yamaha.
Good.
Now, and down in the lower?
No. In the bigger outboard, I still would agree that if I had to go buy a strap-on boat for my duck boat motor, it would be a Yamaha.
Yeah, I just think when you get into that smaller side, and there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with the big ones. I've had those. I'm a Mercury man myself, but when you get down, 50 horses or less, I just don't think you could do any better than a Yamaha.
Yeah, they're just so dependable. They're a great cold water motor. They'll crank on the coldest morning.
Yeah.
Have we announced that Bayou Outdoors Super Center in Bossier is now the new Triton dealer?
Oh, no, we haven't seen that. We haven't not done
that. That happened about a week ago.
Yep.
They're waiting for the new models to come in. And I talked to Larry and Cody and them just 2 days ago. Sometime in September, we're probably going to do a kicking around the idea about doing like a grand opening one Saturday to introduce when they get the load of new boats in.
Yeah.
And probably going to do something like cook a big pot of jambalaya.
Don't let Ben play in them.
No, well, he'll mess them up. But
is Ben cooking?
No.
Hey, Ben can cook.
Can he?
That's my old roommate.
Well, you can look at him and tell that.
No, but we're talking about cooking a big pot of jambalaya, and we're actually talking about having a Duck Commander look-alike contest.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Hey,
first place for the best Phil impersonator, Miss Kay, and Uncle Si.
All right.
Hey, Ben could be Miss Kay.
Hey, there's a lot of things Ben could be. Hey, speaking of Bayou Outdoors, coming on in 2 segments from now, RV specialist Derek James is going to be calling in and talking about the new RVs and what's coming out for motorhomes, especially about getting ready for hunting season, getting ready for tailgating. He's going to come on and talk to us in this 3rd segment.
Cool. I thought we were supposed to have Keith Poche on now.
Is Keith on?
He's not on.
He's not on. I thought we had a phone call.
No. Well, we did have a phone call. Just wasn't
I tell you what, let's go ahead and skip to the next segment. We'll see if I can't get in touch with Keith for the next segment. Which is better for your hunting lease, guys? We've kind of touched on this in the past. Gas-powered or electric ATVs? Do either one of y'all own? Are y'all on a lease that says electric only?
No. Honestly, and I'm going to be the odd man out on this one. I don't think it really matters. I think pressure, regardless, I don't think a deer determines that, it's louder because you've got a gas power or the electric motor coming through there.
They know when you're in the woods, don't they?
They know. Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is walk through. In fact, the best way to try to spook a deer is to try to slip up on one.
Yeah.
The quieter you are, the more you'll spook them. So, and I'm sure that there's a biologist or somebody out there that's going to tell me how crazy I am. I don't think it matters. I think just stay out of the woods unless you got to go in there. And you got to have certain areas. We've got a place down where I hunt in Grand Cane at my uncle's place. We've got a spot there that's probably, 50 acres. And we do not walk in there. It's kind of like a safe haven for those deer.
Right.
We hunt everything around that. Just don't go in there unless you've shot one you're trying to retrieve your animal in.
Right. Well, we had a guy on 2 or 3 years ago. It might have been before you guys came on board. But we had a guy on that was on a hunting lease, and they had completely converted to all electric. Mm-hmm. Their buck-kill ratio went up 35% over one season.
So they started shooting button bucks and spikes. Okay.
Well, you wonder, was that the case?
Yeah.
But he said, no, this is we still have our own requirements. Has to be a minimum of a 6-point, blah, blah, blah. He said, our buck kill rate went up. He said, we really feel like that's what the reason was, because they're not, I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
I think that Gary is partially right. Deer know when you're there.
Yeah, I agree.
And because you can walk in and they know it. But common sense tells you overall quieter is better.
Oh, I would agree.
You
Yeah.
know, so I would have to say, is it going to make a drastic difference? Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
Or does it make a difference? I would say yes.
All right, I'm gonna throw a curveball at both of y'all.
You're not going to drive up on a deer 60, 70 yards in a right of way on a four-wheeler and him not know you're there. On a gas-operated four-wheeler. He will know 10 minutes before you get there.
Yeah.
But you can drive up on him in an electric.
I can drive up on him on a tractor.
Lee Lakowski will tell you.
I can drive up on one. I can get on one closer on a tractor than I can walking on foot.
Yeah.
That's probably
I believe
true.
that.
Now, I know it's true.
Yeah.
I've watched it happen. So it has nothing to do with the noise. It has to do with what's foreign to that particular animal.
And I think that they have related the sound of the four-wheeler to more people in the woods.
Well, you know, what if they related the sound of the four-wheeler to that food tank being filled up?
If it's done consistently, like Lee Lakowski said, once a week, we drive in, they hear us drive in, they know we're going to the feeder, we drive off, they come to the feeder. But that's the only time we drive in.
How much do you think it affects their pattern, the deer pattern? Do you think they know when that time of year is coming? Of course, they know the days are getting shorter,
well,
too.
they just get more pressure in the woods at that time. You know, they go several months and there's nobody there, there's nobody there, there's nobody. And then all of a sudden you're there, you're busting the ground, you're bush hogging, you're planting, you're filling up feeders, you got this going. There's so much more activity. And then, you bound out of the truck and you walk, 300 yards to the deer stand 4 mornings a week. Yeah, they know. This ain't like it was in July. You know, it doesn't take them very long to get educated to that. Okay, now, I just got...
I just try to hunt in March.
I got mailed something yesterday. At night. I just got mailed something from Jim McCrary. I mean, not Jim McCrary, but what's the one? What's
John
the guy?
Bro.
John, no. The guy in Minden.
Bill Clinton.
No, John Fleming.
Oh.
John Fleming. That's him. Jim McCrary. Wow. John Fleming sent out a thing, and it was a questionnaire. Wanted us to, fill out several things. One of them was, how do I feel about the Second Amendment? Well, obviously, you know where I stand on that. I don't think that we need any gun control or anything along those lines. But one of the other things that it addressed in there was dog hunting on, I believe, Kisatchie was one of them. How do you think about that?
Yeah.
And I was like, I really don't hunt Kisatchie, so I don't have an opinion on that.
Right.
But then it said, how do I feel in regards to dog hunting as a whole? Well, you know what? Honestly, if a man's he's either leased or he owns, 10 acres, 10,000 acres, whatever the case is, if he can confine his dogs to that land and
control them
and control his dogs, I have no problems. But I do know that when dogs move into my lease at Arcadia, and they do, because the guys hunt them around us. When dogs move into that lease, you are just about not going to see a deer until you have gotten those dogs out. And they have to have been gone for a week, 10 days.
Oh, really?
I'm talking about those dogs move them out of the world.
Dog hunting, just like almost everything else in the world, it's not the act, it's the abuse of the act.
Sure it is.
That's it.
Right.
It's not dog. There's nothing wrong with dog hunting.
Yeah, I've done it before.
The problem is...
A lot of fun with
those dogs can't read posted signs.
The dog hunters who just say, well, yeah, my dog got on your land, but I can't control him. Big deal.
Well, the thing about...
Why'd you turn him loose on the line?
The thing about when I did it in the mid to late 80s with the guys over in Sabine Parish, the Wally Converse guys over there, there was so much public hunting land, so much paper company land that was free to hunt. So you had a lot of room to let the dogs run. But now everything is so leased up and squared off in little sections now and leased by little. There's no place to run anymore.
Well, we got to the point to where when we were dog hunting, we got away from the old Walker hounds and things like that because we would turn loose where I hunted in West Blanchard. We'd turn loose there and we'd be picking up dogs in Morning Sport, Vivian, running the walkers. But the guys that did downsized, went to the, what is it, those 8-inch Beagles, 10-inch Beagles, went to the
10 and 12,
10 and 12-inch Beagles. The guys that went to those, they're a little bit easier to control. Yeah. They're not going to run completely out of the country because they're going to get winded, God love them.
Right.
But they do just as good a job. All you're trying to do is move the deer. They don't have to catch the deer. They're just trying to move the deer. And
if you don't have a lot of problem, it's better if you just use a dachshund. He can't go if you don't have a lot of problems.
Got short legs.
Yeah.
Why not just keep them on a leash?
Yeah.
Do like those guys that run the prisons.
But seriously, guys, there's a lot of people that had a lot of money invested in those dogs.
I have no issue with that whatsoever, as long as you don't mess up my hunting.
Yeah.
Where we don't allow dogs.
Hey, I hear you, brother.
I've never killed a deer in front of a dog. Never have. I've been a few times as a kid and just never did kill a deer.
I killed one.
Yeah.
And I was a grown man before that happened, but I still love to hear those dogs run. Hooking up and tracking down. It's 11:30. The Tiger.
Told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town.
Some things just stay the same, but not Toledo Town and Tackle. Still the best selection of tackle on the bin. Zoom dive with Gene LaRue and Sam Tone. Now double the size of the original store, you have twice as much to choose from. With a new deli serving the best hamburgers, pizza, and soft drinks, you'll find something that's sure to fill your belly. They also have a great selection of tees and polo-style shirts. So stop in and treat yourself to the best tackle box on the bin. Toledo Town and Tackle on beautiful Toledo Bend Lake. Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, MidwayMarinaStMaurice.com or call 318-646-0097.
Hello everybody, Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff with the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show. Folks, there's nothing I love more than my Rhino. I've had 3-wheelers, I've had 4-wheelers, but if you want the best of the best, you need to get you a Rhino 700 from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches. My Rhino does more than take me to and from the deer stand. It is a great utility vehicle around your house. You can use it for all kinds of stuff, including yard work. I've got it loaded down right here. But one of the best features of the Rhino, it's got a dump bed right in the back of it. So go see the guys at Honda Yamaha Village of Natchez, Chip, Layton, and the gang over there, and let them show you the new Yamaha 700 series from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchez.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's, and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
This segment of Hooking Up and Tracking Down on 1130 The Tiger, presented by Cypress Knee Outdoors, Mr. Twister, and Lake Fork guide Johnny Geis, the only guide you'll need at Lake Fork. Back to you, Gary.
I wonder if Johnny's catching fish today.
Johnny is out. I think he is taking a little vacation time.
Okay. Because I know last week was his last report, and I'm going to miss that because being there, like we've been there.
Oh, yeah.
Just how much fun that is.
Some of the best segments I think we've done.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And he's looking forward to coming back on next year. That's
6 fish in, 12 minutes?
Yeah.
And all of them over 5 pounds.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, in bass times, everybody's had a tough day on the water. We've all had those tough days.
Oh, not me. I'm sorry.
The toughest day they've ever had as a professional angler. They asked this question to Jason Christie was the first guy. He said, the one day I'd like to have back is the third day of the Classic at Grand Lake. I was in position to win, and the wheels just came off. I didn't know whether to turn left, right, go straight. Nothing seemed to work. Caught a few fish, but not what I wanted. I was on my own home lake with 75 spectator boats following me. The pressure and disappointment were absolutely awful. I can still feel all those eyes boring into my back, and I'll never forget that. I mean, we've never been in that series, that situation as anglers. None of us three have. But can you imagine the pressure? It's your home body water, and you're expected to win this event. And boy, you just don't. We know how fishing is, though. Mm-hmm. So we, as anglers, we understand that.
On the flip side of that coin, is there any better of a day to be on your home body of water? You got all those people that are watching you. You know, guys like Rick Clunn have seen this, where, you know, cast after cast after cast for as many as 30 and 40 casts in a row, you're catching another 2 or 3 pound fish. And I mean, you just strum them. Is there any better feeling than that day?
No, as long as it's working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
As long as it's working. But, you know, it's golly, that is. But see, Rick Clunn's the kind of guy that never knew those 70 boats were back there watching.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He is so weird that he could zone them out.
Yeah.
You know, everybody else would be like, hey, look at me.
I'm on TV.
Rick Clunn didn't even know they were there.
Yeah.
He's that focused.
One of our Louisiana boys who we had on the show a few weeks ago, Greg Hackney, he said, the day that affected me the most was the first day on Seminole earlier this season. I had a great practice, 30-pound type of practice. Couldn't wait to get to get on the water the next day. Everything was perfect that first morning. When we weighed in our fish that afternoon, I had 2 fish in my bag. I was crushed. I woke up that night thinking about it and never went back to sleep. I blanked both days at the Classic in Pittsburgh, and it didn't bother me as bad as that first day at Seminole. You know, when you've been on the fish, and the day before, you're shaking fish. You're shaking 4 and 5 pounders, and all of a sudden, you're just like, I am on them. This is my turn.
Speaking of, you know,
and it don't happen.
Speaking of Seminole, had a really good friend of mine that got on some toads over there. They were fishing a 3-day tournament, and I don't remember what it was. I don't remember the circuit. It could have been the old Red Man circuit, but it was like a championship or something along those lines.
Right.
First 2 days, he is killing them. I mean, he's leading by like 12 pounds going into the third day. Gets up the third morning, boy, they're ready. Time to shower down for the blast off. His outboard motor went out.
Oh, wow.
Day's over.
Yeah.
Day's over.
Wow.
Lost the tournament by like 8 pounds.
Oh.
The only time I ever made it to the BASS Central Division, no, it's not true. I made it twice.
Yeah.
But it was on Sam Rayburn. Was going to qualify to go to the Nationals. I came in third place the first day. Mm-hmm. This is 8 states.
Yeah.
I'm in second place the second day.
Yeah.
The only person catching a limit every day. And I get 500 yards from takeoff, and I'm fishing all the way down to the right by the Highway 96 bridge.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I get 500 yards out there and blow up a motor.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Blow up a motor. I trolled back to the marina. I fished up there all day long.
On day 3.
On day 3, I caught 2 fish. I came in, I missed the national team by 8 ounces.
Golly.
Yep.
Wow.
And John Merck got to go because I didn't go.
Wow.
That was my disaster.
Wow.
Jeremy Starks is the final angler we'll talk about real quick on his worst professional day as an angler. Without a doubt, it was the second day on Toledo Bend this year. I made a cast and caught one about 5.5 pounds. I made 4 more casts to the same area. I hooked 4 bass, all of them about the same size as the 5.5 pounder. Every single one of them got off. I really don't think it was my fault. They just came unbuttoned. I managed to continue fishing for the rest of the day, but it wasn't the same. That experience is burned in my mind, and it really hurts. You know, we've all heard the stories. The big one got away.
Yeah.
But you had 4 or 5 big ones get away. That's a bad day.
You know what?
That's a bad day.
You just reminded me. Back in the early days of the old Reeves 100.
All
Top
City
100.
champion.
All City.
In the early days, it was always a big party on Friday night. You know, we had the big catfish fry and everything at the American League. Man, and everybody would hang out. My buddy Randy Hollifield, and Randy, I'm calling you out on the radio right now. Randy Hollifield, he really enjoyed that evening and managed to get overserved at a local institution later that evening, and had been on some good fish. And, you know, on Cross.
Now, is this the Randy Hollifield that left the fire department, went to General Motors?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the Randy Hollifield. Mm-hmm. So Randy had been
Let's
over.
really describe who this guy is.
Yeah, exactly.
His daddy's David Hollifield.
That's him. Got a camp on Black Bayou in Halston. Yeah, that's Randy Hollifield. I love Randy to death. At any rate, he decides Saturday morning, you know, he's not going to handle all of his other stuff on Friday night. Now, he's on some fish. He decides Saturday morning that he'll go fill up with gas, you know, for the tournament.
I thought he did that Friday night.
Yeah. So he fills up, he pulls out, you know, it back in the, you know, it wasn't a shotgun start, you know, you left out in numbers and stuff like that. They get to his number, but his boat won't crank. He'd filled up with diesel.
Oh, whoa.
He filled that whole boat up with diesel.
Oh, my God.
He sat there all day, filled up with diesel. He probably had 40 gallons of diesel.
How long did he try to crank it before he realized?
And all of a sudden, somebody said, what is that smell? That's diesel.
Oh.
Yeah, Randy Hollifield, that was you, buddy.
Jeez. Wow. That'll mess up a motor.
Yeah, buddy. Okay.
Mike, you got some stuff you want to share?
We were supposed to have Keith Poche because
I will try to do this, and this has absolutely nothing to do with hunting and fishing. I just think this is very interesting. There was a restaurant in New York who was concerned with their production. They'd been in business a long time, did everything they could to increase sales, increase money they were taking in. Couldn't do it, couldn't figure out what was wrong. They hired a consulting firm to come in and review all their actions and stuff. The firm pulled security tapes from 2004 and compared them to 2014. And in 2004, I can't read this whole thing in this time right here, but basically what it was, they talk about how long it took customers come in, get seated, get a menu, order, get their food, eat, pay, and leave. Mm-hmm. And the average,
essentially what that table was worth.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. And it was an hour and 5 minutes. In 2014, the same thing went to 2 hours.
Wow. So that table was worth half as much money.
Right.
Over the course of that period.
So an extra 55 minutes.
Due to cell phones.
Wow. Really?
They said customers walk in, 45 out of 18 when they sit down would request to be seated someplace else. This is in 2014.
Yeah.
Before opening the menu, they would take their phone out. Some of them taking photos of others, some of them doing games and stuff before they even took the menu out. Mm-hmm. 7 out of 45 had waiters come over right away. They showed the waiters on the film something on their phone and spent over 5 minutes of the waiter's time showing the waiter something on the phone. Customers had trouble. What it was customers were having trouble connecting to Wi-Fi, and they demanded that the waiters help them connect Wi-Fi on their phone. They still haven't picked their menus up yet.
Yeah.
Then the waiter goes back to the table. The majority still haven't opened up their menu yet. When they open their menu, they place the phone on top of it and continue talking and doing stuff on their phone. The waiter returns the third time. Customers demand more time, and when they're finally ready to order, the time from being seated to taking the order was 21 minutes, twice as long as it was in 2004.
Is this a bad thing, though? I mean, obviously for the restaurateur, yeah. But is it a bad thing? Because they've always said, you know, we need to take a little bit longer in eating a meal. You know, we eat way too fast. Is that a bad thing?
Well, if you're in the restaurant business, you want that turnover.
You know? Well, guess what? I don't care. I'm not in the restaurant business.
They had the food ready. Ready in less than 6 minutes. 26 out of 45 spent 3 minutes taking pictures of their food.
Yeah, I hate that.
14 out of 45 took pictures. Why
you going to take a picture of your tomato sandwich and send that to me?
14 out of 45 took pictures of each other. And then they would review the pictures. Then 9 out of 45, they took so long, 9 out of 45 would have to send their their food back to have it reheated. They would take group pictures, have the waiter take their phone, take group pictures, review the picture, didn't like it, ask the waiter to take another one. So from 2004, it took an average of an hour and 5 minutes to walk in, do everything in a restaurant, walk out.
Unless your food has an eyeball on it and it winked at you, I don't need a picture, okay? I've seen turkey and dressing before, hadn't you?
Exactly.
I'm pretty familiar with, Jell-O. That's crazy, though. So twice as long because we got a cell phone now.
Yes.
And we got to take pictures of everything.
We can't lay it down when we walk in to eat. Now, granted, I'm on my cell phone some while I'm in a restaurant.
Oh, you're way worse than me.
No, some while I'm in a restaurant.
Yeah.
But when I walk in, my priority is to eat. When I sit down,
that's me.
I will cut the waitress's hand snatching the menu away from me. And in 30 seconds, I know what I want.
Yeah, I'm not. It don't take me forever to go through a menu.
My God, I can't stand when somebody just.
That's why I stick with my favorite restaurants. I don't even need the menu.
No, I don't.
I want 29 beef. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Hooking up and tracking down here in just a minute. Derek James from Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, RV specialist, is going to be on the show with us. It's 11:30. The Tiger.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452. Some things just stay the same, but not Toledo Town and Tackle. Still the best selection of tackle on the bend. Zoom Dive with Gene LaRue and Santone. Now double the size of the original store, you have twice as much to choose from. With a new deli serving the best hamburgers, pizza, and soft drinks, you'll find something that's sure to fill your belly. They also have a great selection of tees and polo-style shirts. So stop in and treat yourself to the best tackle box on the bend. Toledo Town and Tackle on beautiful Toledo Bend Lake.
Rick Terrell here for Terrell Brothers Furniture in Natchez, where we've got 7-piece living room groups as low as $5.99. You heard right, 7-piece living room groups as low as $5.99. We've got over 20 groups to choose from. So before you buy living room furniture anywhere, come to Terrell Brothers Furniture, 310 Texas Street in Natchitoches.
Here's your Mr. Twister. Best times to fish for this weekend. Folks, we're headed for a full moon, so that should mean a good midday bite. On Friday, 9:28 a.m. till 12:23 p.m. And on Saturday, 10:24 a.m. till 1:24 p.m. Then on Sunday, 11:24 a.m. till 2:24 p.m. Remember to keep what you can eat, but throw the rest back to be caught another day. This has been your Mr. Twister. Best times to fish. Catch more fish more often.
Hooking up and tracking down is on 11:30 The Tiger. This segment presented by Toledo Town and Tackle, Gamakatsu Hooks, and Natchitoches Power Sports, your local North Louisiana power sports dealer. Now back to the boys who have more outdoors knowledge than Daniel Boone and Grizzly Adams combined. Steve, Gary, and Mike.
I don't know if you were listening a couple of weeks ago. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and the Ranger Pro staffer, Steve Graff, right there in the middle of your radio. A couple of weeks ago, Mike was going through some of the homeschooling lessons that we all picked up when we were younger.
Yeah.
You know, like Daddy taught you logic. Because I said so, that's why. Mama taught you religion. You better pray that'll come out of the carpet. I'm going to try to make sure that we get these posted up on the website because there is some funny stuff in here.
Yeah.
And if not, I'll try to get on the on Kiss Country's website as well. At least on the Facebook page. There's some funny stuff. Mother taught you about the contortionism. Will you look at that dirt on the back of your neck? Hey, I promise you, if you can see the dirt on the back of your neck, you have got it made.
How many times did you were you told to get back in that tub?
Oh, dude.
I tried to convince my mom. It took me a while to figure out that if the soap's not wet, she obviously knew I didn't use it. So, did you use the soap? Yes, ma'am.
Of course.
And then all she had to do is go in there and check it. Well, it wasn't wet.
Well, soap in our house was always wet because she just stuck it in my mouth.
Speaking Speaking of somebody that probably needs a bar of soap in his mouth, Derek James. Hey, brother.
Hey, Mr. Gary. What's happening, buddy?
Hey, now I understand that you guys, what is it, buy one, get one free month at Bayou Outdoor Supercenter on the RVs?
That was last month. I'm sorry.
See, I'm always a month late, man.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
We need one. We need one with hooking up and tracking down, logos all over it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, can you fix this up, Derek?
Absolutely. The guys of your stature and well-being in the Arklatex, anything's possible.
Derek, now, do you guys ever get, custom orders for, wraps and stuff like that on there?
Absolutely, man. It happens all the time, and our folks are the best in the, I'd have to say, the best in the South.
Is that something y'all do in-house, or do you contract that out?
Contract it out.
Okay, now these toy haulers, that's like the big thing nowadays, isn't it?
Ooh, yeah, now, especially that new place in Sarepta, the Muddy Bottoms.
Yeah.
If you're looking for any size of toy hauler, we have got the best selection anywhere in the Arklatex. If you want the bumper pull, there's nothing built like a work and play. I mean, the thing is built to last a lifetime. It really is. Now, if you want the big boys, I got the Voltage and the Raptor fifth wheelers.
Can you get those custom laid out, or do they? If you said, "Hey, I would rather the bathroom be over here," or can you make any kind of modifications to those, or you just buy them as they are?
Well, the saying is true. If the money's right, anything's possible.
Yeah.
But we have a great selection as far as the floor plans out there right now on the lot.
When you when somebody's pulling up in there and they're like, "Hey, Derek, here's what I think I want." How often do we really know what it is that we want?
Very seldom.
That's what I was thinking, because honestly, I would love to have one, but I don't know. Do I want 25 foot? Do I want 40 foot? Do I want a fifth wheel? I mean, I don't have a fifth wheel, but it'd be easy to put one. Do I want a motorhome? What do I want?
Yeah.
I'm always amazed at people that stop in that's going to be their first one to ever buy. And they had no idea of the selection of floor plans, selection of colors, selection of prices, of course, selection of weights. If it's your first time to ever buy one, I got the perfect one. It's an AR1 by StarCraft, 18 foot long, and guys, only $12,995.
Wow. Do you have a hard time finding financing?
No. Our local banks are great now. They're trying to keep the interest rate low to help our economy. If you want that longer term to keep your note on the lower side, our national banks are right there with us.
Another thing, Derek, is if a guy comes in and he says, "Look, I want top of the line. I want the cat's meow." There's different levels of RVs and motorhomes. It depends how much money you want to spend, doesn't it?
Absolutely. If you want our meow, as far as our bumper pulls go, it's the Flagstaff, and it's built by it's Forest River. And guys, the Flagstaff, I believe it's been built for 36 years.
Wow.
If you're looking at the meow of our fifth wheels, it's the same family. It's the Cardinal. And, of course, you got the big boys, the number one coach in America. As far as your motorhomes go, it's built by Tiffin. And if you want the big boy, I got it right now, a 45-foot Allegro bus, absolutely optioned out. Heated floors even in this one.
Wow.
And it's on sale for $339,995.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
So you can spend as much as you want to spend.
Derek, okay, another question.
Yes, sir.
We've got the tax-free weekend coming up. What is it, first weekend of September?
Yeah. Right, I think so.
Is there anything in there, with you guys that falls under that guise of the tax-free? I mean, let's say I was putting it at the deer camp because it's for the outdoors and stuff.
Right. It's a toilet paper.
Okay. Yeah. Because everything costs more than what is the max on that? Like $2,500 or something?
I think so. Yes.
What about like a generator?
I hate to answer that because the way I am, I'd probably answer it wrong. But I would say no.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have something that, especially the football fans, a lot of people now, Derek, are just getting into the tailgating. It's becoming every season. It seems like more and more people are doing that, and there's more and more activities. Whether it's NASCAR, I mean, I'm possibly going to Talladega this year, and I've been to a couple of NASCAR events. It's motorhome city. It's fifth wheeler cities. I'm talking thousands upon thousands. Is there a certain package that is geared towards tailgating or outdoor activities like that?
Yes, sir. If you want the fifth wheel, a majority of people to head to see the LSU games or NASCAR, it's going to be your toy haulers, your Raptor or your Voltage. Well, on both of those, I have options where when you let that back ramp down, it can actually be secured up with the patio wall.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, it's going to have your flat screen, outside speakers. You let the awning out. It's got the LED lights. I mean, a complete package for NASCAR, for LSU.
Your own patio.
It's all there, baby, all there.
And people have asked, what's a toy hauler? That'd be something you'd put a four-wheeler in or a golf cart, something, a little small form of transportation, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. Now, can you get those toy haulers big enough for like a golf cart or a side-by-side?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, the biggest I have on the lot now, the toy box is actually 14 feet to accommodate the big jacked-up razors and side-by-sides and whatnot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Derek, Mike Eccles here.
Hey, Mike.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful.
Hey,
we let Mike talk every once in a while.
Well, it's tough. I have to have a wedge to get in here between these two. Okay, here's my question. I've lost my mind. I've just totally...
Well, finally, he's admitted to it.
Charlotte, did you hear that?
This is hypothetical.
That's on tape, right?
It did not actually happen. This is hypothetical. I've lost my mind. I've gone off the deep end of the world, 180 degrees from normal. I'm going to go to LSU football game.
Bless your heart.
Okay. I can't afford one.
Yes,
I
sir.
can't afford to buy one, but I would like a motorhome or a trailer for the weekend. What are my options?
Yeah.
To rent one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, as far as trailers to rent, we rent them all the time. You know, they're normally that 25 to 28-foot range. As far as the motorhomes, probably the closest place to rent a motorhome is the close to Dallas area.
Well, there used to be a place in Longview at...
but you can rent a pull-behind.
You can rent the trailer. Yeah,
Okay.
I know they do because the first year with the Boss Tournament Trail, we used a bumper pull trailer, and it was part of the rental package that they had over there. They had 4 of them, and now we have the big tournament trailer. But that's what I was getting at. I knew you did have rental trailers for somebody that just wants to do something one time.
Absolutely.
Derek, what's the price difference between a fifth wheel and a bumper pull?
You know what? I have some bumper pulls priced extremely close to fifth wheels.
Okay. Which one do you consider to be safer?
I've never pulled a fifth wheel before, but all my customers say they pull easier. They're easier to hook up. They're easier to back up. They're easier on turns.
Yeah, you can turn sharper with
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, sir, you can.
But you know what? I mean, for most of us, though, I mean, honestly, you think about it. Do you have a fifth wheel?
No.
Hook up?
No.
Have you, Mike? No. I mean, a lot of people just don't have that. Now, I know that you can go get it installed.
Absolutely.
Right. And usually it requires either a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton vehicle to pull them.
Yeah.
That's the thing when you buy a package like that. You're looking to buy that kind of package. You better have the vehicle to pull it, or you're going to buy a vehicle to pull it.
You just buy a gas station and put it right there up beside it, right?
You use diesel.
There you go.
So, Derek, anything to look forward to for the fall? I mean, are you guys going to be, going into any kind of a fall discount or anything that we need to look forward to?
As a matter of fact, man, what's happening right now, the 15s are coming in already.
Oh, cool.
And we have a huge selection of 14s left. And I'm talking about some trailers that would normally sell for 34, 35, or 36 grand on sale for the low mid-20s. And folks are always amazed, they pull up and they say, I have an SUV or I have a half-ton truck. I'm sure I can only pull a 20-foot trailer. That's not the case. I got the Kodiaks and Flagstaffs that are fiberglass on the outside, but instead of a wood frame, it's aluminum frame, so they're built to be towed by half-ton trucks.
Well, you just sold 2. Graf's going to buy me and him one.
Well, come on, Garrett.
We're going to buy one for hooking them, tracking down. We want the logo and everything. We want full wrap. Our pictures and faces on the side of it all the way around.
I don't know about the pictures on the side of it now.
We're going to put stink bait on the back end.
That sounds like a plan, guys.
Hey, I'll tell you what. All we'd have to do to scare everybody away from put a picture of Ben Clemens up there.
Oh, my God. Now you're cussing on the radio.
Derek, we thank you, buddy. Appreciate your time.
I appreciate y'all, guys.
Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, folks. You need one. RV, fifth wheeler, bumper pull, they got it. Go get one.
Hang on here in just a couple of minutes. Our final words on the way, and the 2014 Sportsman's Expo. It's coming up August 22nd through the 24th at the Shreveport Convention Center. We'll let you know what all's going to happen with that. It's Hooking Up and Tracking Down, 11:30. The Tiger.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, MidwayMarinaStMaurice.com or call 318-646-0097.
Hello everybody, Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff with the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show. Folks, there's nothing I love more than my Rhino. I've had 3-wheelers, I've had 4-wheelers, but if you want the best of the best, you need to get you a Rhino 700 from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches. My Rhino does more than take me to and from the deer stand. It is a great utility vehicle around your house. You can use it for all kinds of stuff, including yard work. I've got it loaded down right here. But one of the best features of the Rhino, it's got a dump bed right in the back of it. So go see the guys at Honda Yamaha Village of Natchez, Chip, Layton, and the gang over there, and let them show you the new Yamaha 700 series from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchez.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truded transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
Let's go eat at Honda's Steakhouse and Sushi Bar. They have all of our old favorites, or we could get something a little more exotic, like the Hibachi Grill, conveniently located at 814 Kaiser Avenue.
Hello, I'm Troy Umbehagen. We at Natchitoches Nursing and Rehabilitation proudly support and watch TV17's local programming.
This segment of Hooking Up and Tracking Down on 1130 The Tiger is presented by the Gear Grabber Lure Hanger System, Midway Marina, and Red River Waterway. Find your next outdoor adventure on the beautiful Red River. One more time, here's Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eckel.
Welcome back to Hooking Up and Tracking Down. Final segment, Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and yours truly, Steve Graff here. Folks, Cypress Knee Outdoors. Sometimes you have to return to your roots where it all started. That's exactly what Cypress Knee Outdoors is doing now, as they're going back to their original location at 3J's 4-Way, exit 127 east of I-49. Just south of Natchitoches. John Abraham is expanding 3J's for Cypress Knee, but he does not want to move everything back. He has slashed prices at their store, at their location, which is Highway 6 off I-49, the Natchitoches exit, right next to Burger King. Go by there, see John and the gang. Everything from 25 to 50% off some items, and just a great selection. And he just didn't want to have to haul all that stuff back to Cypress Knee. Got new equipment, new lures, new tackle, new guns, new everything coming into the Cypress Knee at the new location. So, anyway,
if you were going to dove hunt tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might.
You were going to dove hunt.
He's going fishing instead.
Are you shooting improved cylinder or modified?
Improved.
Okay.
Yep.
I was just wondering. Is that just because you can't see good anymore, or you just think your gun shoots better with it improved, or what?
That's because that's what I was shooting last year when duck season was over.
Let me tell you where it done.
I'm telling you, that's the honest truth. Yeah. I shoot the same shotgun, the same choke when I go dove hunting as I shot the whole duck season.
And he'll shoot about 8 or 10 rounds of number 2s before he realizes that he's dove hunting.
I'm here for the beer. It's a party for me.
When birds are coming back in there, there's this half a bird.
They got a big gaping wound. Yeah. Oh, that's Eccles.
Hey, I finally completed. I haven't used it. I saw it on the internet. The Redneck air conditioner. I think we talked about this, where you take a 5-gallon bucket that is the one that has the styrofoam lining on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay. You cut a hole in the top of it to fit a 12-volt fan that you can buy someplace that runs off of a car battery or a cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Then in the side, you drill 3 holes in it that a piece of 2 3/8-inch PVC that you cut 6 inches long will stick inside.
Yeah.
You fill it full of ice.
Yeah.
This fan is on the top. You turn it on.
Where it's blowing down in the cooler?
Down into it, full of ice, and the air temperature coming out of it will be like 56 degrees.
Wow.
And it will last for 4 hours.
Really?
Yes, sir. It is built, completed. It will be on the tailgate of my Polaris Ranger. I will be sitting my fat butt in front of it with that cold air blowing on the back. Yes, the back of my neck. Me and that black lab of mine will be cool.
And you know what? You can probably just run that thing off of the battery in the Polaris. Just run you some alligator clips down there.
He's going to set a record for how many guys can get in the back end of a Polaris Ranger. You'll be piled on top of each other.
We'll be like a bunch of Mexicans in a taxi cab.
Okay.
Hey, let me give you these names. I'm sorry, a while ago. The Ram Slam.
Are these people wanted?
No. They wanted to show up to the tournament.
Okay.
The Ram Slam semifinal is going to be August the 17th. Here's who's competing. Team Voss.
We got another week. I thought that was this week.
No. Clarence Voss and Tom Voss will go up against Team Ultimate Bass, Mike Cork and Brian Hester. Team R&V Works, that's going to be Clayton Fry and Ray White. They're going to be competing against Team Gray's Welding. That's Travis Gray and Eddie Morgan. Team Phoenix Boat, BT Barry Taylor from Minden and Justin Cruz. They're going to be trying to whip, and this is going to be tough, Team Meltra Chemicals, Mark Hay and Earl Glass. That's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
And then Team River City Floors, Claude Eccles and David Brown are going to be going up against Team Rimmer Electric. That's Stuart Toney and Bradley Virgilito. Those are the 8 teams competing for the finals in the Ram Slam August the 17th.
Okay. But you draw on the 16th to find out which of the 3 lakes.
Yeah, one of the 3 lakes. That's right. They will not know.
Up to this point, Mike, your opinion as to... Are you surprised at a lot of the matchups, at who has advanced and who got put out early?
Well, the very first one, we had 32 teams on Caddo Lake. Jeff Pate, Eddie Shaw got knocked out. Jerry Hester and Michael Bedgood got knocked out. That's a classic example of people that you think should be in the winner's circle.
Right. Wow.
Didn't make it out of the first round.
Yeah. Yeah.
So... and I have had so...
I think the format is great.
You just can't have a bad day.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, and it all
you don't have to have a great day. You just got to have a better day than that guy.
You don't have to weigh a 20-pound bag.
No. And it sounds so easy to say, I've only got to beat one team.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that means you've got a 50-50 chance of going home.
Exactly.
That's true.
I like that.
So I love it. I have had so much input that I'm already planning next year.
Yeah, I think next year's going to get big.
Yeah. I think
Gary and I are going to be in the next year.
Amen.
We'll have the 64 teams next year.
Okay. And then that adds how many tournaments to the preliminaries?
Just one.
Just one tournament.
Oh, really? That's all?
That's it.
Oh, you're going to cut 64 to 32.
Yeah.
32.
It's like NCAA
16,
tournament.
8, and 4.
You got that from the NCAA tournament, didn't you?
I don't.
That format.
He has.
I don't even.
He doesn't know what NCAA is.
I don't even play golf, Graf.
Hey, the Sportsman's Expo, Shreveport Convention Center. It's August 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
Right.
We're going to be back again this year with.
And we're going to be there this year.
Yes, we will be there this year.
That's a big draw.
Well,
we are.
Hey, now I'm going to tell you, last year was rough for us.
People asked about us, didn't they?
Well, they did. Yeah. But I mean, it was bad. I mean, you know, the reasons why we were there. You know, that was when Steve lost his mom, and that was.
That's true. That's true. That was a tough time.
And Steve and I were actually out on the river getting ready to go that day when you got the phone call.
Yeah, I got to tell you a story off the air. When we get through.
Long and short, the DeRamus family's going to be there.
I can tell off there.
You got a bunch of them.
They're from Cajun Pawn Stars. Stinkbait, you lost control of this somehow. I don't know what you're supposed to pull the leash tight.
He's got the easiest job in here.
He's got a shock collar on Eccles over there.
He's going to have a cattle prod that'll reach across the table here. We'll have that when that new studio's built.
OT Fears is going to be there. If you always wanted to meet OT, this will be an opportunity for you to do that. But the big draw, I'm thinking, this year is going to be the archery tournament that we're going to have with the Red River Archers. They're going to be putting this thing on, and they've got like different divisions. I think there's men and women and kids and stuff like that. Right. And I think it pays a cash prize.
Oh, really?
I think, if I remember correctly, all the information we've got up on the website.
OT has a oxbow named after him on the Red River. Did you know that?
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah. It's down.
It's first when you lock into 3 going south, which is the Natchitoches lock. When you lock into 3 from 4, the first pocket to your right, we call it the OT Fears pocket because there's a big pecan tree in the back of that thing.
Yeah.
And he won a tournament there off that one pecan tree. The pecan tree's still there.
Yeah.
And when they would lock somebody through or they were pulling water, fish just migrated that one tree, and he would just catch them off the end of it, 3 and 4 pounders. And then when they stopped pulling water, he couldn't get bit. He'd back off of it and go somewhere else. But when he knew they were pulling water, he stayed within probably quarter mile of that tree, and he just kept running to it every time he heard that horn go off at the lock of dam, and he wore them out.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, he'll be there. We're going to have a really, really good time. You can get all that information. I can't remember what the Tiger's website is. Probably the Tiger1130.com.
Next week, Mike, who we got on the show next week to talk about ducks? We got the duck forecast.
I don't have a clue. I'm kidding. Pat Stinson from the Red River Refuge right down the Teague Parkway.
Right.
He's a biologist. They've had that is actually called that new lake down there. Not new lake, just open Lake Caroline. I didn't know that. Barry Lewis has fished out there.
I want to fish that.
Lake Caroline. But he is a biologist out there, and they've had it closed for 2 months because they've been doing the wood duck count out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the few places around that they do.
Can you use an outboard in that lake?
No.
I didn't think so.
You can have it on your boat, but you can't crank it.
Okay.
Oh, so why have it?
Well, because you wanted to go down there.
Because you don't want to have to take it off.
Oh, okay.
Goober.
About time to wrap this thing up.
September the 3rd. QDMA banquet, Quality Deer Management Banquet, September the 3rd. That's a ways off. We'll talk about that again.
Be here before you know it.
Where are they going to do it? Do you know?
One of the big places downtown, big buildings.
Now, the duck count won't just be a local deal. We also have the national forecast, too.
National, right. But he's going to tell us how they do the wood duck count and how that factors into what we can expect.
Think you can tell us why we can only shoot 15 doves?
Yeah, you can tell. Sure.
That's not his expertise. He's duck man.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
You deal with these state and federal people. It amazes me that they'll say, well, I talked to my boss. They won't let me talk about that because I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how dull this show would be if we could only talk about stuff that we knew what we were talking about?
I don't know if we could even talk. All right. Final word, folks. Even though it's August, I start to get really excited about the next 5 months. Hunting season is closing in. Football season is almost here, and some great fall fishing is just around the corner. This is the month guys start to get the fever and begin preparations for the upcoming hunting season. A few cold fronts just bristles the hair on the outdoorsman's head. Our necks begin to swell, and we start hooking bushes with the anticipation of hunting season. So get ready, guys. Get those honey-do jobs done so you'll have more time to get ready for awesome 2014 season. Folks, stay safe. May God bless until we meet again with more Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
I am for the child who has been abused, the child who is afraid to go home,
who thinks it's her fault,
who is forced to keep the secret or else.
I am for the child who has been neglected,
the child who does not know where his next meal is coming from,
who must fend for herself and her little sister
alone.
You're watching KNTS Digital 19 in Natchitoches, Louisiana.